Yeah, look at this. Holy shit. But yeah, I'm not even sure. Oh my god. Look at this here. Oh my god. So are they just letting it get worse so that they can, you know, introduce like even farther martial law and like be even more aggressive and then have the public accept it? I mean, is that what's happening? I don't know.
Yeah, so, Homa, we're here in I Street, and there is a heavy police presence. You can see a bunch of police lights flashing down here on I Street. The whole road is blocked off as we're walking up. There is police that is directing cars to go in opposite directions as this road is closed off. We're working our way a little bit closer, so we don't really have any information on anything as of now, but as...
Yeah, I guess we're going to have to wait and see. America is formed from unleashing violence upon people who disagreed politically. Yeah, because you weren't able to vote. You see, you couldn't vote King George out of office. You can vote Trump out of office. You can vote for somebody different than Trump. You can't vote for George Washington to be your leader rather than King George. So it's just, again, suspect in custody. Wait, hold up.
Closer, of course, will bring you every bit of information that we can gather, but all we have right now is that these streets are just lined with every kind of cop car and every kind of presence that they can
like voting doesn't matter.
Going on as we do get closer to the metro station.
What do we know?
It obviously matters.
Julie, we see dozens and dozens of police officers there right now.
Probably young kids looking for a way to pay to college. They're guarding a roadway.
Secure. Yeah. Give us for perspective of folks who are just now joining in here at the top of the hour. How close are you to the White House?
Looks like we're probably about a block off of it here. We are just coming up to, we are just past.
Yeah, this is a thing where, like, I mean, preventing somebody from getting a gun and shooting two people is impossible. You can't do that. Like, realistically, as much as people want to say, oh, they need to put a stop to this, how are they letting this happen? The reality is that you can't stop this from happening. Oh, they got the suspect in custody.
Away from the White House.
Oh,
and if you're
shit.
just now joining us, we're understanding that 2 National Guard members have been shot in D.C. Their conditions unknown, but we are learning from the AP right now that they're reporting a suspect is in custody, and D.C. police saying the scene is secure and it is contained. As you're joining us now, Rich, walk us through kind of what you're seeing and what the next movements will be from this massive police presence.
Yeah. Well, here you got multiple agencies working together.
The FBI is doing its job, like all the agencies. Trump deployed National Guards for weeks now. He's speaking nonsense. Crime's been drastically down. You didn't listen to what I said.
Not seriously injured.
You just learn to listen.
What they say when they report DC police as one.
That's okay, though.
In custody.
You'll learn.
Listen, we've had these reports when things happen immediately, but that doesn't mean that there's only one individual. It means a person is detained, and they may or may not be the shooter. They seem to indicate that it is the shooter.
Well, yeah,
what I can see from the scene is the way they have so much law enforcement presence and so many bystanders with cameras and standing around. I do agree, number one, it's probably not an active scene anymore because they would not have bystanders. They would have been out of the area. Number two, they're already probably at intelligence centers looking at all the cameras for the area to see what they can find. There's body cameras from the police, the National Guard. I'm not sure if they're equipped with body cameras, but all the street cameras and stores have cameras. They are probably checking them immediately. Now, being, well, my family, actually, my grandparents were from Connecticut Avenue North. So this is a very hectic time. It's you know, we're talking about 3 o'clock on a Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. And like you said, it's inundated with the visitors to the area. So what will happen next is they'll...
Obviously, I mean, come on. What are we talking about here? We need to do something.
They'll archive and record all the data they have on the cameras. They'll try to see what they can piece together. They're probably, hopefully, the guardsmen are well enough to be interviewed and they can give them some idea of what happened. Now, being in the proximity of the White House, the first thing is a red flag. Is they probably, if they hadn't locked down the White House, I mean, we understand the president and the first lady are not there. They probably certainly secured the perimeter.
So I was thinking about that video.
Much tighter than they had. To just be aware that it may not be over.
I was thinking about something
distraction. We don't know if the person was coming off the subway or going underground or persons. Again, I say pause a little bit. because the initial reports are not always accurate.
Anyway,
I think, I think that we're going to hear a lot of information coming out. But like I said, look right now as the bystanders are on the corners. They got cameras. It doesn't. If it was live scene or active shooter, they would be running. They wouldn't be there. Right. So I'm sure the police.
Sure. So they probably got the guy. That's good. I'm glad. I mean, obviously, it's a huge fucking relief that they got somebody that went and did that shit, right? But we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens if this is actually him or not. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, my assumption is that it probably was. But, yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of surprised more than anything that something like this would happen. And to me, like, what I think is... I think this is probably another mentally ill retard. That's what I think that it is. It is another mentally ill retard that probably got hopped up on some weird... Like, again, you could say that it's an ideology, but if you're going out a day before Thanksgiving and shooting random people in the head... I'm sorry, but, like, you're nuts. You're Looney Tunes. What do you mean? Like, yeah, it's crazy. They didn't call him MAGA yet? Well, I don't know if he's a Trump... Here's the truth. The people that go out and they do these shootings are nuts. They're not left. They're not right. They're nuts. They're nutballs. Like, these are people that think they're talking to demons. These are people that think that they know Donald Trump. Yeah, they're not in a party. Yeah, they're not in a party. Like, yeah, some of these people could have gotten, radicalized by rhetoric or something like that. But these people are very, very far beyond that as well. So, yeah, leftists are nuts in general.
What's all this? Someone shot in it. Elrich66 says, what's all this? Rosebud says, someone shot 2 National Guard soldiers there and saying, yep, that's basically where we're at.
Well, the problem the problem with left-wing violence is that social media has a tendency to tolerate it or think that it's okay, right? Like, for example, like after Charlie Kirk got killed and you had a bunch of people talking about like, oh, he deserved it, it's a good thing, right? So that's really what the problem is. The actual problem isn't that it happens. The problem is that there's a culture around it happening that glorifies it.
That's part of the problem, yes, that it happens, yes.
And that's the real issue. The real issue isn't stuff like this happening. And I understand that obviously that might sound crass or, harsh to say, but I really believe that to be true. It's not necessarily the thing itself. It's the culture around the thing and how it's tolerated. That's ignoring all the real use of political violence who seems from the left, like hits against ICE. Yeah, they could be crazy, but they could just also be anarchists. Well, I think that you that's a huge difference, though, right? Like somebody going and like slapping an ICE officer or even throwing a rock at an ICE officer, like that is like multiple measures and like magnitudes of like severity different than trying to get the drop on somebody, getting a gun, shooting them in the head, and then killing somebody. Like, that's totally different. Now, even though you could kill somebody with a rock and, some of these people would want to shoot the ICE members, going and doing that is crazy. That's crazy behavior. Another mentally ill retard. How long we get the fact that the left is overwhelming using extreme violence? Well, I think that the left does. We get the fact that the left is overwhelming using extreme violence. Well, I think that the left does weaponize violence way more often than right-wing people do, at least nowadays. I mean, you want to look at it historically, you can go back and forth about it, but I think that nowadays, especially in the last 5 years, it's undeniable that like the vast majority of left-wing of violence is left-wing people, right? And by the way, all of the studies and everything that show this stuff are totally biased, and their data collection is completely biased. They are not actually trying to, they're adding in like prison violence and shit like that into right-wing violence, like because neo-Nazis are just categorically right-wing, but the left-wing people there, or the people that are like the opposite of neo-Nazis are not categorically left-wing. No. It's very obvious that, like, again, like, look at Tesla burnings, look at the ICE riots, look at, the BLM riots. These were all left-wing crash outs, right? It was, every single time. So, yes, and they weaponize their emotions violently, kind of deep, but thoughts? Yeah, they do. And I don't think that anybody should put up with it. I'll tell you that. Yeah, and you're on a topic. If governments can arrest people for online hate speech, how do we prevent those laws from being used to punish criticism or unpopular opinions? I wasn't talking about hate speech. I never said hate speech. If you think that I said that, I don't know why you think.
Yeah, that's pretty much bullshit. All right, we're gonna come right back, okay?